What's up, guys? Before we get into today's video, I wanted to remind you that I'm giving away this blue Halo Thunderbird that is max weight at 100 subscribers, so make sure and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on this giveaway. For today's video, I'm going to be ranking the Disc Golf Pro Tour players before the season starts, since the Las Vegas Challenge starts tomorrow when this video comes out, I believe. This tier list, I kind of preset. I think Simon Lazar's used this exact setup before of players. It doesn't include like Nate Sexton, Scott Withers, and even Andrew Presnell for some reason. So those guys would certainly be on my rankings, but since they're not one of these 32 listed, I'm not going to put them in my rankings just to keep it simple. Alright, so we got four groups here. We got the top six. I picked six because I think there's definitely six clear favorites up here that I'll get to later, then 7 through 15, 16 through 24, and 25 through 32. We're going to go ahead and start at the bottom here, 25 through 32. I'm going to start at 25 and go down. So kind of the best of the worst is what we're going to start with. I think 25 is Jordan Castro. Alright, I've seen him playing a lot this offseason. I really think he's improving his game. He's definitely had some good tournaments even last year, so look for him. He could definitely be a contender in some tournaments, but I have him at 25 because he's young, consistency might not be there. 26, Andrew Marweed. Andrew's definitely got some talent. I haven't watched him play too much. I've seen a couple of his play in some tournaments. He's a really good player, a very good putter, so he can definitely get his name up there. 27, I'm going to go with Philo. Philo's kind of past his prime. He can sneak up there. He's pretty consistently, though, around this area, so that's why I have him there. 28, kind of for the same reason, Greg Barsby, kind of in the older section of disc golf, especially with all these younger players. All these courses now are having you throw 1,100 feet. And Greg Barsby's just not quite there, but he can have some good tournaments. You see him play well at, like, I think the Texas State Championships and whatnot, so he could definitely be up there. 29 now, I believe. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, yep. We're going to go with Kale Leviska. Kale's obviously spending a lot of time at the Preserve and getting that course to be one of the best courses in a Pro Tour level course. And like I said, he too, just like these two, are kind of on the older spectrum of things. But there's a reason they're still in the league. They're really good, so expect them to still have some good tournaments. Number 30, I'm going to go with Gavin Rathbun. Gavin's a young talent. I'm going to kind of loop Noah Meitzma in here too. These two are definitely on the younger side and can surprise some people this year for sure. I don't know how much they've really been working on the off season. You could really tell throughout the year last year that they were improving. I watched them just a few times each, kind of. They're really good players. And lastly, number 32 is Terry Roethlisberger. Terry's not a bad player, even though I have him at 32. You know. I know he's been working on his backhand form a lot. That's really important because he's really a forehand dominant player. But his backhand is hopefully getting there because that's really what's holding him back, and that's why he's at 32. All right, now for the 16 through 24. So we're going to go ahead and go to number 16. I know it's weird how I'm doing this not in order, but it's easier in Tier Maker just to put them like this way since you can't really insert them in anywhere. So 16 is... where is he at? Drew Gibson. Drew Gibson, Infinite Discs, and he signed with that putter only brand. I don't remember what it is, so that'll be interesting to see. Hopefully that fixes his putting woes, because that's why he's not higher. He's got elite distance, elite control with those putters. So it'll be interesting to see how he plays this season and how that putter brand works out. I'm really interested to see that. Number 17. Big Germ, Jeremy Coling. This guy, yeah, he's on the older side of things too, but that forehand will keep him around for a long time. Really fun to watch, really great player. 18. Simon Lazar. Now, Simon's said he's delaying the start of his tour for like 2 months. He hasn't been getting a lot of practice, that's why he's here. He could definitely be up towards like number 10 or so. Especially with his power, but he's around 18 right now, especially with a bunch of unknowns. 19, Thomas Gilbert, another young one, just signed with Prodigy. New disc, so it might start off a little rough with him, but really great player, fun to watch. Number 20, Clemonade, Chris Clemens, lefty, forehand guy. His forehands are so smooth and go so far. He's really fun to watch. He's had some really good tournaments. He can definitely be up there on some courses. 21, Eric Oakley. Eric Oakley, it's kind of a wild card for me. You know, some tournaments you can see him and he's just playing like really well. Like he played really well at the finale, the Disc Golf Pro Tour finale. And some weekends he's just not even close to anywhere up. So it's kind of a wild card, but he can definitely have some good rounds and surprise some people. That puts us at 22. Emerson Keith. This might be a little low, but as a lot of my friends will tell you, I'm not a big Emerson Keith fan. Nothing against him personally, but I'm just not really a fan of his game that much, and I think he's a little overrated at times and really just not that great. But he obviously is a great player. Did I just say he's not great? Let's say he's a great player. Yes, that describes Emerson Keith. All right, 23, Matt Bell. Matt Bell could stick around in tournaments just because of his putting. This guy is insane from anywhere, and especially like I see him do well a lot in the woods or like kind of shorter courses. So yeah, 23. And 24, we're gonna go with Colton Montgomery. Colton Montgomery, obviously, I think you can tell in this picture actually that he won Waco. He's been working a lot with Kona Panis. Obviously, they've been playing a lot, I've seen, so expect Colton Montgomery to have a pretty good year this year, I think. All right, now we're up to 7 through 15. All right. So this will be like just the guys outside the top 6. There's a big gap, I think, from the top 6 to the rest. But number 7, we're going with Adam Hammons. This guy has already played a couple tournaments this season. He was absolutely on fire. He's another great putter, and I think he'll have a really good year, surprise some people, and definitely be on some lead cards. Number 8, we're going with Nico Lacaster. Now, I don't really know the situation with Nico Lacaster because I heard he dropped out of the All-Star event because of an injury, so we'll see if he's even at the Las Vegas Challenge. But really good player when he's focused and not mad, you know. Like, I think Paul Ulibari this last year when he got a double bogey, said his tournament was over. He gets in his head a lot. That can ruin some tournaments for him. But when he's on fire and really tough to beat. That's why he's at number 8. Number 9, we're going with Double G Jerky, Garrett Gerthy. Elite distance, obviously. If he can make putts, he'd be a lot better. He's really struggled with his putting. Obviously, the Sonic keeps him close to the basket most of the time, so he doesn't have to worry about putting. But when he does have to putt, it's not pretty. We saw in the All-Star event, he missed like 10, 20 footers, it seemed like. But number 10, the young gun, Kyle Klein. This kid is something. I just think of the putt that he made. I forget what course it was, like the 75-footer on the raised basket with OB all around it. This kid is ballsy. He's going to make some moves. Number 11, Yulie, Paul Ulibari. Another great forehand. Phenomenal backhand, too, don't get me wrong. I don't know what to say. He's really good. But, yeah, around right here. Again, on the older side of things, kind of. But he's been around. He knows what he's doing. 12, James Conrad. We saw James Conrad at the All-Star event because Nico dropped out, and it wasn't a great first showing with him with MVP discs, if I'm being honest. He threw some okay shots, but obviously he's getting used to the bag. He hasn't been with them for long, so we're not really faulting him for that. But if that's any sign for how he's going to play at Las Vegas, hopefully he can get used to his discs sooner rather than later, or else he might be further down here for the season. Number 13, Austin Hannum, someone else with a new sponsor. He's signed with Prodigy this offseason, so he's learned a new disc too. I haven't seen as much of him already, so bit of a wild card, but another great forehand, great backhand distance too, don't get me wrong, but definitely a wild card. He'll have some good tournaments and some tournaments where I don't think he'll do too hot. But number 14, for the third time in a row, we have someone with a new sponsor, or his first real sponsor, to be honest, Ezra Aterhold. This kid, I think he's pretty young, big arm, great putter too, great form. Love watching him, love watching his vlogs. He can definitely put on some lead card performances this year, and I'm really excited to see what he does with an all discraft bag. And number 15, another young one, Anthony Barella with Innova. Just like kind of what I said with a couple others, we'll definitely get on some lead cards. I expect him to do really well at Las Vegas. I think that'll be a great course for him. But he'll have some tournaments where he'll kind of fall off. That's that young mentality. Great putter, great distance. So yeah. Now we're getting to the top 6. These 6 guys are just on a different level, I think, than everyone else. I'm going to go from 6 down this time. I don't know why, because I can, because it'll make it more interesting. Number 6, we're going to go with Kevin Jones. Kevin Jones, great circle 2 putter, great distance, great in the woods especially. We saw him at the All-Star event, kind of struggle on day 1, but really do well in the singles on day 2. That kind of leads into the wild card mentality that I've talked about. He'll definitely win some events this year, I think. Number 5, Robot Chicken, Chris Dickerson. Mr. Robot, consistent. Great putting, great form, accuracy, it's all there. Top 5 player. I expect him to be lead card, chase card at almost every event. Alright, top 4. This might surprise some people, but I'm putting Ricky at number 4. Ricky's a great player, obviously. I just think these 3 are just going to be better more consistently this year. Ricky's obviously going to push for some events, but I think these 3 will beat him when it comes down the stretch at any event, honestly. Number 3, we're going with Eagle. Eagle is just putting, forehand. If he's on, he is so tough to beat. This kid just doesn't miss putts when it matters, and that's really dangerous. Like when it comes down to the wire, I want Eagle McMahon putting for me. Alright, 2 and 1. This is tough, but I'm going to put Calvin at 2 and Paul at 1. You just can't bet against Paul, you know, after all these years. He's been up top 1 or 2 in the world every year for I don't know how long. You can't bet against him. Calvin, though, great player. Really good with like his eagle and, you know, his putting. Like throws dead straight, far, low. That's dangerous. I expect these 2 to battle it out a lot this year, and I'm really excited to see how all of these guys do at the Las Vegas Challenge. Because after that, this ranking system might be totally different. You know, we haven't seen these guys in a couple months, most of them. So, yeah, I'm excited for the Las Vegas Challenge. Hopefully this video gets you guys excited, and thank you guys for watching.